the Center for Social Responsibility of the University of Asia in the Pacific, we have identified business sustainability as very important for businesses in order to survive in this changing business landscape. Sustainability, businesses, infinity wars, they're all interrelated because they are dealing with scarcity of resources. My name is Colin Hubo. I'm the Executive Director of the Center for Social Responsibility of the University of Asia in the Pacific. My specialization is business sustainability. For most businesses, sustainability is an imperative strategy. And it becomes more important for businesses to pursue sustainability, especially if there are several factors that actually encourages and at the same time mandates companies to undertake business sustainability. One of the many factors why sustainability is very important to business is investor. So as they say in my business class, we live by the golden rule. Those who have the gold make the rules. So today, more than 90% of CEOs state that sustainability is important to their company's success. But not only CEOs, investors as well. So in ASEAN, for example, if you look at the existing asset owners and fund managers in Malaysia, Thailand, and Indonesia, all of these big asset owners like KWSP, Bank of Islam, BP, for example, they have what they call sustainable investment strategy. That is to say, they're going to invest only in companies that complies with the triple bottom line of profit, planet, and people. Likewise, foreign fund managers are very active in ASEAN, especially also in the case of the Philippines. Nomura, for example, BlackRock, Vanguard, the JP Morgan, these foreign fund managers, the biggest in the world, they are now using sustainability criteria when it comes to allocating their investments in the country as well as in ASEAN. That's the first push. Investors as a crucial element in terms of pushing for business sustainability. The second push really for business sustainability is coming from regulators. If you look at the international community, especially after the Paris Agreement has been signed, more and more companies now requires that investment should be sustainable simply because they are mandated by their respective governments to do so. So in the case of the Philippines, for example, we have a memorandum coming from the central bank, which is Memorandum Circular 1085, which is all about sustainable finance framework, which expects banks to embed sustainability principles in their banking and lending practices. So this Memorandum Circular 1085 of the Philippine Central Bank is now mandatory for all banks in the Philippines. So these are the type of push that companies are facing nowadays. They are coming from regulators, at the same time, investors. But there is the third factor why companies are going into business sustainability. And this third factor is very important. They are what we call demands coming from customers. And most of these customers are primarily millennials and Gen Zs. 73% of Gen Z consumers globally are willing to spend on sustainable products. 60% of consumers, in fact, in ASEAN, wants to reduce single-use plastic and adapt to a more sustainable lifestyle. So sustainability has the effect of transforming our personal choices so that we have to be aware of its ecological and social consequences. In a way, when you think of all brands that are out there, the ones that you believe in and the ones that you remember, you remember those brands that stand for something. IKEA, for example, which states, let's play for change. Adidas, community involvement. In the Philippines, I can cite the Energy Development Corporation of the Lopez Group, which is powered by good because they are basically into renewable energy. San Miguel Corporation with their malasakit principle. So branding here is all about establishing an image that customers can adapt to their own individuality and lifestyle. And nowadays, branding is very much related to sustainability. In the Philippines, 70% of our population constitute the millennials and Gen Zs. And what does they say about sustainable products? 90% of these Philippine millennials are willing to switch brands that are sustainable and mindful of their impact to the environment. Whereas 40% of the Filipino Gen Zs named climate change as the biggest challenge that the world would have to face in the next decade. And the fourth factor, why business sustainability is important and why businesses are paying attention to this concept is the ability to attract talents. Nowadays, it's very difficult to retain employees simply because of its composition. If you have 49% of your employees as Gen Zs and 44% of employees as millennials who made their career choices based on personal ethics, then you have to pay attention on how your company is undertaking its sustainability initiatives. Studies would show that sustainable businesses would tend to attract talent, primarily because of their flexible working policies, promotion of diversity and inclusiveness, and responsible business opportunities. The fifth reason why sustainability is very important for business is that sustainability can, in fact, increase your operating profits and reduce cost by 60%. And that is an established and well-documented percentage. 27% could lead to higher profitability and 22% greater productivity through sustainability. These are only some of the statistics on how sustainability can improve and increase productivity of business. Therefore, there are basically 5 factors driving business to become sustainable. The first one would be because of investors. Second, because of regulation. Third, because of customer demands. Fourth, because of the ability to attract and retain talent. And fifth is the ability to increase productivity. These are the factors driving sustainability as a business strategy, and therefore, sustainability is crucial in your business repositioning and adapting to the new normal. Those that are convinced that sustainability is the way to do business in a changing business landscape would ask me, how do you start your sustainability journey? So I will give you 3 basically principles on how to start your sustainability journey. Number 1 is that leadership is very important. Steve Jobs would say, the ones who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. In my years of working with organizations, it is always imperative that a tone from the top is very important. It is vital. Embedding anything that would involve transformation, embedding the leadership is very important. Because leadership dictates direction, alignment, and commitment of the organization. But at the same time, leadership also provides the necessary character to the initiative. So that's number 1, and that is very important, leadership, when you want to start your sustainability journey. Second is stakeholder engagement. So the future of business is actually in co-creation. And what is co-creation? That is to say, you need to collaborate your activities with your external shareholders and stakeholders in order to come up with what we call a shared experience and co-create some innovations. So it is no longer the practice wherein businesses would try to innovate on its own. But innovation nowadays will be dictated by working collaboratively with your stakeholders. And that's the second principle, co-creating something with your stakeholders. And the third one, which is the last when you want to start your sustainability journey, is basically about transparency. And what is transparency? Disclosure, reporting. As they say, transparency is the currency of trust. That's because transparency breeds legitimacy. And you will find that your customers, consumers, and also at the same time, employees will be loyal to you if they trust your organization. In fact, a study done by an international business school would say that loyalty is the best ingredient to succeed in business. So that's the third and last one when it comes to starting your sustainability journey. So first would be leadership. Second is co-creating with stakeholders. And third is all about transparency. I would like to end this episode of our podcast on business sustainability by saying that the hardest choices require the strongest wills. Actually, that's a statement by Thanos in the Avengers. So until our next podcast, thank you very much.